All
Peace.
right, welcome everyone to the Discourse Assembly, a community of geekdom, irreverence, and the human condition, whatever that means.
I
If
don't
you
know.
I got your
enjoy
human
this
condition
content,
right here.
remember to subscribe, share, and smash the like button.
Can we segue into my Star Wars story then?
Do you want to do that, or
Yeah,
do you want to
let's
do
do
your
that.
Tenet? Did you want to jump into?
Oh, Tenet was just kind of cool. I didn't even know a
Ooh.
lot about it. It was just it's going to be the first movie back from the COVIDs.
According
But
to what's his name? One of the co-stars, I forget who it was. Oh, the guy, the glittery vampire guy.
Robert
Right?
Patterson?
What's his name?
no,
Patterson.
Yeah, he's doing
According
Batman.
to him, he
he's
didn't even
not going
understand
to
the
work out for
script.
Batman. Yeah.
He is,
Sorry, what?
isn't he?
No, he's Batman, but he's not working out for it. So
Oh.
so he claims, which
Okay.
caused an outroar in the community.
Well, he was already kind of
No,
built a little bit, and he's playing an earlier Batman, so that might be a reason before it.
Yeah, he's playing the pansy Batman.
He's playing
no,
the new
he said
Batman.
while he was filming Tenet, he said, I didn't even know what the plot was. I didn't understand it.
Yeah. Now I want to see it.
Well, it's supposed to be more
Exactly.
complicated than anything else Christopher Nolan done. But here, I got that article that you sent us, Greg. Christopher Nolan's Tenet, 3 big challenges for the Warner Brothers. It's a $200 million gamble. Warner Brothers put $200 million on this movie. With 2 months to go, Warner Brothers appears to be moving forward with plans to make Christopher Nolan's mind-bending original film Tenet, the first big studio film to hit movies since COVID-19 pandemic has forced theaters to close worldwide. Now, they're releasing this under the shadows of the pandemic still comes with risks. 3 big ones stand in Warner's way. This article goes on to say them being, but there's a reason for optimism, given Nolan's enormous fan base and track record. Now, there's still some questions surrounding this box office. Is it going to be a hit? Now, there are some ones that are still coming out, possibly, which is Mulan, Warner's Wonder Woman 1984. Mulan obviously being Disney, but from what I've read recently, Mulan might actually become a digital release, as Disney's been seeing a huge amount of money because they release it a few weeks to buy or rent digitally, and then they put on Disney Plus, and then people join Disney Plus, so they're seeing big revenue coming from there. So,
Well, I guess the question, Mike, right, is are we going to go see Tenet in a theater post-COVID?
Oh, I am.
I mean, I'm willing to. I mean, they're saying that this promises to be more complex than Nolan's head scratchers like Memento, Inception, and Interstellar. So they're saying this is even going to be more of a mind bender, which would explain why Robert Patterson couldn't follow it. Because I remember watching Memento for the first time, you're like, "What is going on?" Before you figured out the black and white and the colored and all that stuff going on with the.
I mean, every one of his movies, I love his. I did not love Interstellar as much as I loved Inception.
Interstellar. Inception was much. Interstellar was good. Inception was a much better movie.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. This movie looks really good. It looks
Does it?
really good.
I haven't even seen anything about it. I thought it was kind of a cool, piece of news, right?
No, yeah, it's really interesting because I haven't even thought about that. Like, when things die down, what's going to happen to the movie industry? Like, are we going to go to the next big Netflix world, or are we going to keep doing theatrical releases?
Drive-in movie theaters are coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the drive-in. We go.
I've never been. I always wanted to go. I did hear there was a news report that that cops came and shut down. I'm not sure what state it was in, but they shut down a movie theater drive-in that was open, and they decided to open up, and the cops came and closed it down. It's like, dude, everyone's in their cars. It's their own personal family. Let it be.
Right.
But
they closed down that that same concept of that church that was doing the parking lot sermon.
Oh yeah. Unbelievable.
Well, we can't have churches operating at all. Just don't want that.
No.
Yeah, well, the Supreme Court came and knocked it down, back down to the lower courts. And then one of the Democratic or liberal judges, however you want to say it, attacked Kavanaugh because he was saying, they should be able to open back up. It's their beliefs. Allow them to do it.
Something that comes next after this conversation is both of you have to go to a drive-in. I mean,
I'm
don't
down.
have
I
to
would
do
love
anything.
to.
You have to experience that.
Greg makes a good point. I don't have to do anything, and I don't have to experience anything I don't want to
but
experience.
your viewers want to know what you think of drive-in theaters.
Well, maybe my viewers will go with me because I'll bring a camera and then live stream it as I watch the movie.
I don't know if
can't-
that's legal, Mike.
It is
Not legal.
if the camera's pointed at me.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
Yeah.
Longest reaction
May-
video ever.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
except for the fact that at drive-in theaters, there's usually one screen in the back and one screen up front. So
What, there is?
You're probably gonna.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, we've never been, so how would we know?
Like, yeah, like you just. Wow, spoilers, Matt.
I'm teaching you.
Can't wait to pull in and be like, I would have been like, wow, there's 2 screens? And I'll be
Listen,
like,
young
Greg,
grasshoppers.
I already knew this because Matt ruined it.
Did ruin it.
Yeah, it's really fun, especially if you have an SUV. You open up the hatch, you're like laying in the back. It's really good. Good times.
Laying in the
Wait.
back. Well, if you're
Yeah,
laying
you're comfy.
back, like, you're going to be. I don't know.
Seriously.
You'd
we
have
used
to
take, we-
park just right, wouldn't you?
We used to take an air mattress and put it in the back of the SUV. Take some pillows. Make it a really good time.
Okay,
It's
so
fun.
what you're
Matt-
saying is
No,
a
hold on.
pickup truck
Matt,
is way better.
Matt, you are more
Yeah.
country than I am.
Maybe.
You are more country than I am. That's all I'm gonna. And
It's-
I grew up in the country, so
I grew up in the country too.
no, you did not.
What?
He grew up
You
with
live-
You grew
with
up on a
barns
farm.
and
That's different.
tractors.
That's
That's
actually
country, son. You met some of the
I had
country
no
folk because we
neighbors.
took you to some of those bonfires, Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Those
Speaking of,
are country folk.
I won't go there.
we won't talk about
Those were
that.
country
Those are
folk.
country folk.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't.
There are frames.
You
Good people.
learn not to ruin crops with your car.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one
Right.
lesson you can take out of that.
That's
Well, I
something they
sold my
don't
car.
like.
There's no evidence. No evidence.
Very important.
They're nice people, just don't
Also, the
ruin their crops.
You're shady.
it's all
man.
gone.
You're shady.
Greg's
Did you learn that in the country or what?
That's just good survival skills.
That's just the good old American way, is what he's trying to say.
So
I
the
can get away
three
with
of us, the 3 of us are gonna go see it in the theater, but
I mean, I'm
Together?
down.
how many other people will?
I don't
They
know.
do it together.
I don't know.
I'm okay
Both hands?
if it's just us 3.
There. Oh no, I just mean the other public.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it's just us 3 in the movie theater, I'm totally fine with
Yeah.
that. Just kick back. It's
Oh,
all
cool.
quiet.
What was that movie that it was just you and me, Mike? That Four Feathers. Remember that movie?
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was just
yeah.
You and me sitting in a theater, just the 2 of us. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it when it's just like you and one other person or like a small little group, and for some reason, no one's there. I'm like, oh, this is so
Especially when the
comfortable.
movie's horrible and you can make fun of it
You
the
can
whole
make
time
fun of
without
it.
upsetting people.
Like Ultraviolet.
Oh
Or-
yeah.
or that bad?
I do think there's a lot of people that are going to be afraid to go to a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So movie ticket
Wear your
prices
mask.
might go up.
Yeah,
Just wear-
masks save you from everything.
Yeah.
So if you just wear your mask, you won't get COVID.
Don't get the
or
COVID.
any other
Listen,
illness.
I'll wear it into the theater so everybody
People
sees me
going
walking
through-
in. But as soon as the movie starts and the lights go down, popping that bad boy off.
Just so long as you guys are 6 feet away from me.
How else am I gonna eat my popcorn? Didn't think about that now, did you? Mm-hmm.
Why do you got to be 6 feet away from people to eat your popcorn?
Because you're a thief.
Yes, Greg, because you reach in and take my popcorn.
I am the last person to be at popcorn. I don't even like popcorn.
Greg, I know you don't like popcorn, but you would still take it just because you can.
Maybe a little bit, like a handful.
You're like,
Right at the
I-
beginning.
he just drops
Right-
it on the ground. I don't like popcorn.
Yeah, the top of the popcorn, right, where it has all the, where all the
All the good stuff.
all the good stuff's at. I'll grab some of that.
He's like, butter and salt. It's delicious.
Yeah, that's the only thing good about it.
Bottom of the.
I don't want to taste the popcorn. I just want the butter and the salt.
Now
What is
I
this?
can only. I have the Dick in the Box song in my head.
Well, you think about what you want to think about, Greg. That's your own personal
have-
world.
You're talking about getting to the bottom.
That is your own personal little world right there, Greg.
It's an interesting take that you have.
Yeah,
It is.
Greg, your mind takes some wild rides.
It does.
Yeah, taking a box.
Won't
We're just gonna
deny.
jump right.
And if this was Joe Rogan, this would be about the time if you asked Matt and I if we ever tried DMT, as you talk about where your mind likes to take off.
Talk about the Star Wars because you brought up SJW stuff. So there's like a big, and that was one of the articles I have. There's a big apparently there's a big civil war behind the scenes between who Kathleen Kennedy is, the president of Lucasfilm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and John Favreau and Dave Filoni. So it sounds like, from what I hear, is that Dave Filoni and John Favreau kind of have gotten the green light to kind of build the universe going forward, like the cinematic universe. Yeah, and like Kathleen Kennedy is having a hard time with that. But
Yeah. She's
her last,
politics in it.
yeah. So the big thing about why the Mandalorian kind of got pushed back, and I don't know if you heard about the Mandalorian stuff. There were some issues with that. So it sounds like Boba Fett's coming back in season 2, or yeah, and she wanted Boba Fett to like reveal his mask and have Boba Fett be a woman, which apparently is like the big thing. Like it's got to be a woman, Boba Fett. So
But we already know who Boba Fett is.
yeah, I don't think she's gonna win that one. Oh,
No.
the other thing is, this is kind of cool too. Some more of those rumors, right? George Lucas is also helping John Favreau and Dave Filoni kind of set
I heard
this
about
all
that.
up. Did you hear about the big retcon that they're planning?
I didn't
For
hear about
Rey?
the retcon.
Okay,
But I
so
heard about George Lucas.
Okay, so you can look, and George Lucas is not a fan of any of the sequel trilogies whatsoever.
Right.
And he I think the Rise of Skywalker, he just didn't even see it. Like, he just doesn't even, like, I think he helped. He had a cut, right? They said they had a cut, but I don't think he went to the premiere or anything. He's not too interested in it. But the big retcon apparently is that they're gonna completely retcon, I guess, Rey's origin or her name. They say her name, but it would have to be her origin, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna retcon her to actually be a Skywalker somehow. That's the big rumor.
Huh.
I really give two shits about what they do with any of those characters, but
No. It's about going forward, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
In my mind, the sequel trilogy is not canon. I don't, no. Like, I'm not going to go down that road, but I don't see it as an extension. It stopped at, Return of the Jedi, and I don't recognize any. This is all fan fiction, really bad fan fiction.
Really, really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get excited about too much Star Wars now that they've completely f***ed up, but I did see that, and I can't remember what his name is. I think his last name is like YTD or something like that. He's the director for
Thor.
a lot of really great stuff.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
He did Thor
Oh,
Ragnarok, which was his biggest
Okay.
hype profile.
I think he
Well,
also was involved in
I
Green
love-
Lantern. So
Oh,
He could have
I
been.
don't know. I haven't seen that.
I think
He does,
that's how he met Deadpool.
What we do in the shadows.
That's what I'm just gonna call
Which
it.
is great. Hunt for the Wilder People, which is really good. What else has he done? He's almost everything he's done has been spot on. None of his projects have ever reminded me of a Star Wars film.
Well, he directed some Mandalorian episodes, or at least one.
Really?
Yeah, did you watch The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I did.
So you like that one, right?
Yeah, of course. That was really good.
Did you watch the Clone Wars? The animated
That
series?
cartoon? No.
Don't say that cartoon. You gotta watch it. It's the best Star Wars you're gonna see. It's a little slow to begin with, but
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't like the art. It's just
You
Now
get
you get
over
over
it,
it.
and it's about the story.
aesthetically pleasing.
you get over it, and then the art starts looking cool. It actually gets better as it goes on. It gets a lot better. So I actually really like the art, and I don't mind watching the cartoons. I watch Rebels too. I didn't watch
Rebels.
Rebels is good. It's mostly
It's
good.
all right.
But Clone Wars was really good. That was really good.
No, the only two things that have come out in the last couple of decades that I've enjoyed was The Mandalorian and shit,
Well,
Rogue
unless you
One.
watch
Rogue One.
Rogue One
Thank
was
you.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rogue One was good.
Rogue One's
But
really
if
good.
you don't watch Clone Wars, you're not gonna appreciate Ahsoka Tano as much.
Yeah.
Hmm.
From
I mean, I guess if you said you watched Rebels, Matt, or you didn't watch Rebels.
Yeah, I did. I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. You may not even gotten to Ahsoka, but to appreciate Ahsoka, you really need to go back to the Clone Wars and watch it. It's something else. She's like just like she's really a lot like Luke, right? A whiny brat, thinks
Hmm.
she knows a lot. You don't really like her, and then as it progresses, she's one of the coolest characters in the damn story now. So I'm really excited to see her in The Mandalorian,
yeah, you see her
especially after.
development, which is awesome. Rather than
Well, yeah, but it's going to be after Rebels, right? So,
yeah,
so with Ezra and what I forget her other Sabine and Ahsoka Tano, so that I'd imagine is all resolved by then. So I'm actually wondering if we'll see Ezra Bridger in some capacity in The Mandalorian as well. So, or Thrawn, who knows? But yeah, I don't want to give it
Thrawn.
away, Matt. You should finish
Oh,
it. The ending's
Thrawn.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
I might do that.
But let's say things happen that and there's unresolved plots for some of the characters at the end of Rebels,
Okay.
which was honestly that's more of a kids show. It's more of a episodic kids show
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
Clone Wars was more kind of at our level, right? And it's still a
yeah.
cartoon, but it's more, yeah. I mean, people die, they
The,
die. They develop. Stories slow and yeah, it's
hmm.
good.
So I might have to check it out. I think that came out either during or after the George Lucas prequels, and I wasn't really in the mood.
I wasn't either. I started watching it though because I saw a bunch of stuff online, right? Because they have all these theory videos for Star Wars, which I'm a big theory video type of guy. So
Right.
I did go into that YouTube hole there, and there's so many cool things. Okay, like the biggest thing obviously was Maul being alive, right? Obviously got
Yeah.
cut
Right.
in half,
Yeah.
and Phantom Menace, and he's alive. So
Yeah.
spoilers. Sorry,
Didn't
I
he
ruined
make
it.
an appearance in one of the new movies?
He made an appearance in at the end for Solo. That
Yeah.
movie that didn't need to be made, but actually was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay.
I should get my Soy Wars story shirt that I bought in protest. I should wear it
Soy low.
on one of these. Yeah.
That's great. I didn't even hear about that.
Oh, you
Oh,
didn't hear about that?
no. I would have bought one.
Yeah, that was Ethan Van Sciver. He's a big Comics Gate guy. I listened to him for a while, but he riffed on Star Wars, so I was watching him for that. And he sold shirts, or someone sold shirts. That was yeah.
That's awesome.
Was it a Soy Wars story? Or that was pretty
That's
funny.
sweet.
So I bought one because it was right after Last Jedi, right? Not
Yeah.
Last Jedi. Yeah, Last Jedi. So I was so pissed off at that movie that it's like I'm not gonna see this Solo movie on principle. And it was
Yeah.
great watching it burn, but I do feel bad because actually the movie is not that bad. It's
Really?
unneeded, right? It ruins Solo. Like it ruins Han Solo because Han Solo was the selfish, like he's only out for himself, right? Just a smuggler. Didn't Nothing else really mattered. And then they went back. They For whatever reason they told us how he got his last name, which was dumb, right? Because he's by himself. He's solo. It is stupid, right?
Are you
Anyone can
kidding?
remember.
Really?
No, I'm
He's
not. I'm
not
not.
kidding.
Not
Oh
kidding.
my god.
Spoilers. and then and then well, throughout the whole movie, he's like the guy that really has the heart of gold, right? It's like, yeah, I'm kind of a smuggler, but I'm gonna help these people out. I'm like, no, that's not who Han Solo was at the beginning
Right.
of the New Hope. You're ruining. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, The Force Awakens ruined it too, right?
Yeah.
Where he went back and reverted. Okay, go back to Game of Thrones, right, with Jaime Lannister too. I mean, they just revert them back to who they were. It's
Yeah.
like, well, we had whatever 20, 30 years of progression, and then
Mm-hmm.
you come back and you just they get reverted back to who they were, and it's just dumb.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. I mean,
Solo
it would have
wasn't
been.
supposed to be that. He wasn't
It
supposed to
would have
be that
been
though.
right. It would have been one thing if they would have made new Star Wars movies and they were horrible. That's fine. But when you make new Star
They
Wars
did.
movies
They did.
That's
with
exactly what they did.
old characters, and you also ruin the characters themselves, that's a crime. You know,
Yeah.
you're ruining things for me that you shouldn't be ruining. If you just make stupid movies moving forward and they don't make any sense, which these ones did not, that's fine. I'll just walk away from the
Well, it's
franchise.
just
No big deal.
people don't understand Star Wars. And have you seen the stuff about what Dave Filoni said about the Phantom Menace, the Duel of Fates? Did you see that?
No.
No.
No. So there's like behind the scenes stuff on, and I haven't watched it myself, but I've seen the clip on Disney Plus, and it's like I think it's episode 2 of the behind the scenes of the Mandalorian, and he talks about because he spent a lot of time with George Lucas, like decades, and so learned a lot about Star Wars, and he was explaining like what Duel of Fates meant, and he said the Duel of Fates was it was two fates fighting for Anakin, because you had Qui-Gon Jinn, right? If he would have won, then he would have brought up Anakin. He would not have became Darth Vader. He wouldn't have fallen, right? Because he was the
Okay.
father figure.
Yeah.
But Qui-Gon Jinn was killed.
Right.
Even though Darth Maul kind of died, right? But Qui-Gon Jinn was killed, so the dark side won that fate. Like they won that fight, and so the Duel of the Fates was was really Anakin, right? And basically what he said is that where Qui-Gon Jinn was the father figure that Anakin needed, Obi-Wan was kind of his brother, right?
Yeah.
Obi-Wan
Right.
didn't.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan wasn't a father figure, and he needed a father.
Yeah.
So the Emperor kind of ended up being that for him, right? So that's what that really meant, right? It wasn't just the fight. It wasn't just the light side, dark side. It was really the whole. It was really for the fate of Anakin, and I mean, I think that's something that blew me away, and also blew a lot of other people away. Like a lot of Star Wars fans, I don't think we really realize that. So
No, it shows the depth of the thought process behind it. It wasn't just about, hey, here's a narrative or here's something. It's like, this is what's going on with these characters. This is what's going on with the world, and the focus on that. That as fans, like we missed until somebody broke it down for us. We're like, wow.
Well, the problem
awesome.
is if you make a terrible movie, you're probably going to miss some of that.
Right. Well, they started it on the wrong premise, right? So obviously, the beginning, the prequel, the Jedi Order was big and it was built, and they dealt with that, right? And we watched as the Jedi Order fell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the original trilogy, there was no Jedi Order, and you kind of started watching it get built up, right? And the Republic get built up.
Right.
These sequel trilogies should have started with the Jedi Order being built up, and kind of like, let's see the Republic, right? Let's see what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Let's see how the Jedi Order. But then they had to shoe in this, whatever. What were they? The First Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They rewrote all this stuff to be like, no, we're gonna bring it back to New Hope again and retread this stuff. It's sad because there was so much you could have done.
Well,
and,
it's such an
potential.
amazing universe, and
Yeah.
Exactly, Mike. It's the potential, and dear God, I mean, all of the books, the Star Wars novels. There's a lot of depth in their characters, and the stories are amazing, and then you get to this in just really a frick.
It makes it sad. That was my jam, Star Wars was always my thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I loved it.
I mean, there were
still
so many
do.
faults with the new trilogy. It's just like you said, the depth of the characters.
Yeah.
The only
is no
characters
depth.
that had depth
No,
were
there is
the
no
characters
depth.
that we already knew about, because the depth was already there. The old characters, except for Solo, that they ruined them. but you got Chewie, you got R2D2, you got C3PO.
Yeah.
You've seen them growth, and the growth was there right at the beginning of the new series. You're like, oh, okay, but everybody
They
else,
couldn't even kill C-3PO.
yeah,
Like they couldn't even do that right.
It's awful.
Like it was literally 2 minutes after he gets wiped that he gets upgraded again or gets backed up.
Yeah,
It's restored.
Which movie?
The last
one. It's
show.
I didn't watch the last one. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Good for you.
It's it's comical because sorry, spoilers. Man, I'm just gonna ruin it for you. At the end, apparently they can never get anyone to help right in all the 2 movies to ever fight the First Order. So then what's his face? Billy D. Williams, Lando.
Yeah.
They send one guy, and he ends up coming back at the last nick of time. And it was like, you ever seen that thing where they make fun of George Lucas, right? Where he went back and did special effects, and they have all those TIE fighters, just like so many of them everywhere, just coming in. You ever see that? You remember?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. No.
They just someone went in, like, this is George Lucas's edit, and they just added a bunch of CG everywhere, just tons. It just kept going, and it was hilarious. Well, this was that on steroids. Like, the whole thing was just, thousands upon thousands of ships just show up to fight, and then of course the Emperor has thousands and thousands of ships, and of course every ship he has can blow up planets. They're all a Death Star, right? Because we have to it's just
it doesn't matter because they've weaponized what's it called? Light speed.
no,
Whatever.
it was a 1 in a million shot.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they threw that dialogue in there, which you knew they were gonna retcon that, right?
Yeah.
They had to. Stupid.
Well, yeah. It doesn't make for any battle in the future that is entertaining at all.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any battles, right?
Light
Now, I made this rocket. I'm gonna go to light speed and boom,
Boom.
punch a hole through that
Planet
Star
is
Destroyer.
done.
It's over.
So bad.
Ooh.
And it's yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm gonna change topics again. Do you see the launch? Do you see the launch of the spaceship today?
I heard
about it.
the
I didn't watch it.
That was pretty cool.
Is this a part of Space Force?
Space Force?
No,
It's the beginning of Space Force. Yeah.
All right.
No, this is just. It was the first time in.
a long time.
How many-
Since 2011, I think.
2011, since
Yeah.
America has sent anyone up with our own rockets, right?
Yeah, from America.
From America.
Otherwise, we're going to Russia.
But
Spending
it was
millions.
cool
Russia.
though, because Gia was watching it, right, and she was actually interested in it. It was kind of cool. I'm like, this is the
Oh,
first
that's
time it's ever happened in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we got to watch it with her today, and it was kind of cool because I'm like, I was checking out the rocket. I'm like, oh, I thought there was only 2 stages, but then they actually did have the 3rd stage, right? So it was kind of cool just remembering all the stuff that I was taught in like young astronauts and going through school about. It's still the same thing. It's the same
Nerd alert.
damn rocket.
Nerd 'em.
The only difference is the bottom fuselage, like the bottom part, the first stage rocket, it flies back and lands on this like barge, like floating in the ocean.
That's cool.
And it lands, and they save it.
Yeah, it's reusable, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it was so cool. I'm like, and then just seeing it, like the spacesuits are all sleek. They're not the big bulky like thing that we knew that was crap from like the 90s.
Right.
And so they all have like their nice like Tesla looking spacesuits on. It's really cool, man.
Elon Musk showing us that he's the person America needs. That guy's ridiculous. Unbelievable. The stuff that like his companies are doing, and I know it's mind blowing. It shows. It's funny that because now we're seeing like the future start to actually appear, like the things that we heard about like growing up, like electric cars, flying
You've
things.
seen a hoverboard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like we're seeing all this stuff. Yeah, they have them on wheels.
Seen a hoverboard.
It hovers on wheels. I mean, it's just I don't know. You see that stuff coming from like Elon Musk's companies, which I think is just awesome. I mean, it's just technology pushing forward at a level that I don't know about you guys, but to me it feels like tech has just been kind of stagnant. Like cell phones are getting smaller and smaller. Now they're just getting bigger and bigger. They're still just making phone calls. Text messaging is getting a little more advanced. Social media and little games.
I disagree. Yeah, no, I disagree. Maybe in that sense you could say that, or it would be perceived that way, but the software, the computing power, just the stuff we're doing.
It's just slowly
we're
moving
doing
forward.
It's been a
No,
slow
it's not.
growth.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Well,
it's
I'm
a
not
slow
talking
growth.
about like, oh, this computer is just barely more powerful than what we had 10 years ago. Obviously, they're exponentially more powerful, but pretty much we're just
Yeah.
doing the same stuff with it, like at least in our daily lives. Like, you know, I remember growing up and all of a sudden you had a computer. You're like, whoa, this is life-changing. We have the internet. This is life-changing. Hey, my computer's way more powerful than it used to be. Okay, so I can do things.
Where's my goddamn bionic implant? That's what I want to know.
That's coming, and stay away from that post-transhumanism, because that stuff is
Transhumanism.
scary. That is scary. Whew. Thank you for joining us here on the tDA. That's a small t, just so you all know. That's the Discord assembly.
Yeah.
Now, if
It's
you
our
like,
thing we're doing.
if you like this content, then please just subscribe, hit that like button, smash as Greg likes to say. I like to say hit as many times as long as it's a non-number. And Greg, Matt also wants to tell them, press it as gently as you can. Also, hit that bell.
Oh, don't do it, Greg.
I'm helping you, right? That's your ASM thing.
That is.
ASMR.
That's getting me.
ASMR.
It's pronounced as Mister.
Asthma.
I don't know if that's true.
I just gave you an asthma.
Because it's not. Asthma.
Oh,
I like
don't
asthma.
agree
That
with
works.
Greg. Greg, do not ever give me an asthma.
It's too late.
You
He already
just got-
did. He just got one.
You got the biggest asthma I could give you.
All right. Well, I think we got some good stuff in here.
I doubt it.
Right?
It's gonna crash or burn. But let's throw it up there and ruin our lives.